Okay, quick follow-up, because I forgot to say why, or add on why then I say that Ukraine will have Crimea. I think once you get to the point of the end of whatever this is, when we're seeking resolution, um, what will happen is that Ukraine will have, for its most part, its original borders, at least from 4 years ago, 2021. So at that table, what will happen is Ukraine will have by then begun occupation of Crimea. Okay, and I think that there maybe will be a good faith that there's a shared occupation of Crimea, some kind of way that Russia has a port, because ultimately that's really what Russia's aim is that they have a seaport, and that's always been the deal. When they lost that, they lost it. So they could operate Crimea with some kind of shared responsibility or access, with it being the sovereignty of Ukraine. I think that might solve a lot of the hostility. And then further back up, when we go to the border of Russia and Ukraine, a big issue there, the impetus that Russia was operating under to invade Ukraine, was that the people that are inhabited along the border inside Ukraine, identified as Russia, wanted to be part of Russia. They claimed heritage Russian, and all this. And so the I think one of two things happens there. Ukraine insists on its border, which is perfectly reasonable, but maybe extends an olive branch to relocate those families who feel they are on the wrong side of the fence. That, or if there's a large enough stretch, potentially shifting the border to exclude some of those areas or townships that might want to be on the Russian side of things. I think this is a diplomatic way, in the way of Ukraine. If it was my country, the way I would do it is, especially if I have the power at the negotiating table, is, hey, we'll relocate these people. Whoever wants to be Russian, we'll do that. I mean, you spent so much on the war anyway. This is a way to remove hardship and hard feelings. Let's do it, because you're not going to want those people trapped inside your country anyway. Then with Crimea, we offer the opportunity to Russia somehow to have port access, but that the sovereignty ultimately is controlled by Ukraine. And they were able to do that by, during the war, instead of cutting off Crimea, strategically they left the back roads open, so to speak, so that instead of Russian soldiers feeling trapped, pinned in, and having to defend, they actually gave them an out, so that as the war or fighting got bad and continued, they exited Crimea rather than being stuck there. Okay, and that really allowed for the infrastructure to stay in place. So strategically thinking, Ukraine did a really smart job, and I think it's going to pay off for them in the end.